Howdy folks, I'm skitterish Spring Azure, spryly swooping away from scary storms.
I'm Amber.
And here are more scary storms for us to swoop away from because there are a storm of Reddit stories coming. Let's get started. A storm of red flags.
Yes.
Alright folks, and our first letter is titled, Am I a Jerk for Wanting My Husband to Drop His Best Friend, Who is Female? So I'm a 23-year-old female and I've been married to Alex, a 24-year-old male, for a year. But we've dated for 4 years. We're in a happy relationship and I love everything about him except for one thing. His best friend, Vanya, a 21-year-old female. Well, some backstory on their friendship. Alex is an orphan and was in an adoption center with Vanya since they were toddlers. They both hopped around foster families and went through a lot together, apparently, and are now, according to them, like siblings. He also has some trauma and mental health issues, and for some reason she knows exactly how to comfort him and deal with it. I've already made him drop many female friends, but this one he refuses to. My issue with Vanya is that, to me, she feels a bit like a pick-me. She's a tomboy and dresses in boy clothes. She plays games all day, gooner games like Marvel Rivals and Genshi, and she plays those games with Alex and their other friends. She's also into anime, as is Alex, and they've gone to anime conventions together since before I've met him. They're also both into history and do reenactments together. And I don't know why, but it feels super performative how she's into everything that he is. She also is Chinese, so I don't agree with her on some political things, and I don't want people like her near Alex. She also gets on my nerves a lot. Her personality is jarring and loud. She often talks about school since she goes to university and is very quote-unquote educated, which feels a bit out of touch when she talks about it when I'm around because I dropped out of college, so it feels like she's mocking me. Well, she was also his best man at our wedding. As I said, she's like a tomboy. Sometimes I even think that she's trans because of how mannish she is. It's so weird. But yeah, he insisted on her being his best man, and I only agreed because no one else seemed to see the issue about it. Now that we've been married for a year, I think it's time that I finally get rid of her because I truly despise her presence, and I think that she's trying to steal my man. I've been asking him about it forever, and he always says he'll try to keep some distance. But he never agrees to cut her off completely, saying that she's like his found family. I think that I'm going to ask him seriously again, but am I the jerk? Alright folks, what do you think?
Yes, major jerk here, OP. Back off. I hope your husband sees this and leaves you. This is despicable behavior. I mean, first of all, seems like there might be some casual racism going on here.
Transphobia.
Transphobia.
Homophobia.
With the whole, I don't want him around people like her after mentioning that she's Chinese. And, what are these politics in particular? It's some people, there may be legitimate concerns about people's politics, but again, that doesn't mean you get to dictate who your partner is hanging out with. You can only decide whether you want to be with someone who hangs out with this kind of person. It's just like a whole, the entire post just reads like OP grasping at all the most random straws and stuffing them together and being like, aha, see here.
Yeah. Well, I think that it's reasonable if you don't want to have a political conversation for you to say, hey, I'm really not interested in politics, or I can't get into politics because I get really anxious about it, or any number of things. I think that's a fair place to be, right? Because sometimes political conversations can be really hard to have with people, and they can really drive people to be extremely rude and cruel, right? But as for all the things that OP is kind of mentioning, these don't sound like red flags to me.
No,
right?
But OP, the whole, I made him cut off other women, saying excuse me, what? Your partner should be able to have friends who are women. It's not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
If you don't trust your partner, you shouldn't be with him.
Well, that's just it, right? It's it's all right to have friends, and it's all right to have friends that are of opposite genders or any gender, right? And that doesn't mean anything. And the fact of the matter is that OP's they're trying to steal them away. Though they did a pretty bad job of it, right? Because they've known him before, they've known them longer than you've known your partner. Right?
Yeah, well, and there are times where feelings come out later and whatnot, but we can't assume this is all some TV drama series or something like that. Like,
Yeah.
they are happen on occasion, but again, if you trust your partner, you have to trust them.
Yeah. Well, that's just it. I think that OP needs to go into therapy.
Yes.
Needs to go and seek out a lot of therapy because they have a
Mm-hmm.
lot of unresolved things. And like the whole complaining about her knowing exactly how to comfort him, they grew up together.
that's it.
They're siblings.
And maybe work on your skills if you don't have them.
Yeah.
Like, talk to your partner, ask him how he likes to be comforted. She
Yeah.
acts like this is some magical skill.
Yeah.
And sometimes it is hard for people to put into words what soothes them. But, like, talk to him, observe how she comforts him. Like, you can find a way to do it if you want to.
Mm-hmm.
But there might also be something especially comforting about her presence since they grew up together in a very dark time.
Yeah. Well, and also they're siblings.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, that's what this boils down to. Like, if OP had evidence that they were cheating,
Mm-hmm.
then that would be like a different thing. And like, certainly everyone's going to have different deal breakers in a relationship, and if this was a deal breaker for OP, then they should have ended this relationship a long
That's
time
it.
ago.
But the manipulation here, like, oh well, I'm just going to. It's time to get rid of her now. Like, Opie went along with having her as the best man and everything, and now he's like, oh, and then her partner has made it clear that he'll put distance, which.
I don't even agree with.
Exactly. I was going to say the same thing. Like, I think that's way more than what this warrants here. I think OP just needs to get some therapy and work on her jealousy issues.
Yeah. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. And Acrobatic Signal 1285 says, "You're 100% the jerk. Stop being so insecure. He would already be with her and not you if he was interested." And OP replies, "I've been cheated on many times by guys with female friends that they've known for a really long time. It's always a possibility." And Lavender Lust 2487 says, "Then you shouldn't have gotten married." And OP replies, "I expected him to grow out of it. Grow out of a friendship." Right.
Well, that's the thing. Is like this. There's nothing immature or needing growing out of this friendship.
And Lavender Lust 2487 says, "I'm 31. I have a history degree, work in the field, and I go to anime conventions. I watch anime and I read manga. My boyfriend has no interest in a lot of those things, but he supports me so much because he loves me." And OP replies, "I'm not talking about that. I'm not into that stuff myself, but if he likes it, that's okay, and I support it. I expected him to grow out of his connection to this woman. He's a full-grown adult. He shouldn't be dependent on another woman who isn't his wife." I mean, that's, I think, a poor take.
It's such an unhealthy attitude. Like, you are allowed to, like, it is good to have a supportive partner, but it's also important to have supportive friends and other people in your life who you can turn to.
All right, folks, and our next letter is titled, "My girlfriend is very childish. Is this a red flag?" I'm a 42-year-old male, and I've been dating my girlfriend, a 33-year-old female, for almost a year. I love her, but sometimes she doesn't seem like a woman her age. Sometimes it feels like I'm dating a child, and it makes me question whether I should be with her. Well, she's playful, and she likes to laugh and joke a lot. Sometimes she puts on music and starts dancing and singing like a child. She enjoys arts, painting, and making bracelets. But sometimes what she does is look like something a 3-year-old would make. She can be a bit clumsy too, like burning food while cooking or asking me questions with a kind of childlike curiosity. She gets overly excited about simple things too, like going to a concert, a museum, or the beach. She reacts like a child. I've told her a few times that I'm not your dad, and she just laughs and says, "Okay, I'm a grown woman." But honestly, it doesn't seem so. She also lives alone and has a good, responsible job, reads a lot of books, and is incredibly loving and caring, and never tries to change me or criticize me, which all my exes did. She never gets angry at me and treats me with kindness. But I'm afraid that she's immature and doesn't act like a woman her age. And I don't want to feel like I'm with a child. Is this a real problem or am I exaggerating? All right, folks, what do you think?
Yeah, OP, I think you are exaggerating majorly. A lot of this just seems like expressing joy and having hobbies that you're not like a professional at, which those are totally normal things to do. There is nothing wrong with having joy in the small things. In fact, that's a really good thing for your mental health if you're able to see the beauty in even little things. And like, first of all, a concert is pretty, like those kind of things, concerts, museums are pretty big anyway. Like, they're kind of like things you go out of your way to do. Like, I see wonder and joy in butterflies. Like, I'll be like, Brian and I will be going on a walk, and I'll be like, ooh, butterfly, and chase after the butterfly. You know, everything OP expressed all seems like normal, healthy adult things that she just has different interests and has more exuberance and enthusiasm for life.
Yeah. There's nothing wrong with being passionate for life, right? There's nothing wrong with having passions and pursuing those passions, and even if you're not good at them, right? Too many times people get shut down and they stop doing things that they can't do on a professional level because it's not good enough, right? But arts don't have to be good enough, right? Going to a museum or learning new things, you can be excited for those kinds of things, right? I also want to point out this sentence. And she never tries to change me or criticize me, which all my exes did. If there was a statement of irony in this world, this would be the statement of irony, right?
Yes.
He is like simultaneously grateful that she's not trying to change him while being like, I wish she was different.
Well, and that's it. And it's like, there's a reason why she's not like your exes. Like, and maybe you're using the wrong people as a model of maturity, because it sounds like your exes were not very good people for you.
Yeah.
And if you're using them as a standard by which you measure all women, the women you find who are like them are going to be more likely to want to control and change you. It sounds like, if that's what you're looking for, you have to expect that outcome. Whereas if you want someone who lets you be yourself, you need to also give them room to be themselves.
But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. And Bluebeard's wife says, what you're describing isn't childlike. You're witnessing someone who enjoys life. I'm a 44-year-old woman, and I wouldn't want to be with a judgmental stick in the mud like you. And Coitus Introitus says, 48 here and delighted to have outgrown all the interest in being perceived as a serious adult. And Bluebeard's wife replies, right, my husband says that we're getting to the age where we can stop caring. It's glorious. And Smiley Glitter says, God forbid a woman express her whimsy. And Mark's Adam says, she gets happy easily and enjoys silly things. Honestly, seems like a great way to live. If she's too much for you, find someone who's less. Alternatively, if you want someone who acts older, stop dating people a decade younger than you. Alright folks, our next letter is titled, I'm a 20-year-old male, and I found and read my girlfriend, a 19-year-old female's notes about her dreams of cheating. 4-year relationship. What do you think I should do? I am heartbroken. Edit. Old people don't understand. And of course, all of the negative posts are at the top and not helpful ones. Some of you can be miserable. This is a long one, so I hope you stick with me. I was looking through her phone since she asked me to write something down to help her remember. But while I was looking, I saw a note called Dream. I was curious. Keep in mind that she has never told me about this dream, and it seems like this note was in the beginning of July. It was just talking about her coworker and how they, quote, I guess me and coworker hooked up or something. I don't know. Throughout the very long dream that I read through, she was talking about how she thought that she was getting pregnant and how they seemed to be getting closer. Here is the part that worries me. I know it is a dream, but still, she barely only mentions me once through the whole reading, and it was how it wasn't right, and keep in mind that my name was mentioned once. Well, the most gut-wrenching part was at the end where she said that she took a pregnancy test and said that she wrote, we're both celebrating it. Somehow, I forgot about all of my doubts because I was so in the moment. We being her and the coworker. She even said, part of me wanted to go through with it and be with him, but another knew that it wasn't right and that I should be with blank, me. This hurt me a lot. I understand that this is a dream, but it's still very heartbreaking to me. And she never even told me about it, which makes it even worse in my eyes. I have always trusted her, but this has put many doubts inside of my head and makes my stomach turn. I would greatly appreciate some wise advice. Thanks to whoever responds. All right, folks, what do you think?
I mean, my advice will probably be discarded because I'm probably too old because I'm not 20 anymore. But OP, I think it might do you well to talk to a therapist about your concerns here.
Yep.
It is very normal for people to have dreams that do not reflect their reality, that do not necessarily even reflect their actual like way of being in the world. I sometimes like have this dream where I shoved someone, and then I was absolutely horrified that I did it. And it's like not something I would do in real life, I would hope, but you know, it was just one of those moments where like I was like just thought of doing it and I did it. And like, you know, people have all kinds of wild dreams. It's not a reflection of, again, their reality, of their true feelings or anything like that. And like, I have all kinds of dreams where I'm like with my parents when I was a kid and my siblings, and like Brian doesn't factor into them because like he wasn't part of that part of my life. And so like the fact that you're not the center of her dream doesn't mean she doesn't love you. It's just, you know.
Yeah, well, dreams are dreams, and I think that that's really what it boils down to. And OP has pretty much rejected all of those types of pieces of advice in the comments. And the fact of the matter is that they just want someone to validate them to say that this is really terrible, right? No, it's not that terrible. It's a dream. It doesn't mean a whole lot. The fact that she didn't tell you doesn't mean a whole lot either, right? People are allowed to have private thoughts. Mm-hmm. They're allowed to have private journals and any other thing, right?
It's a dream journal is no different from a like written journal, and you invaded her privacy out of curiosity.
Yeah. So I think that OP does need to go into therapy and kind of work on themselves. I think they should also potentially talk to their partner and explain the situation. If this is really bothering them that much. And if you just can't get over it, if bothers you to the point where it's something that you feel like you can't get over, then maybe that's your mind's way of saying that you should end this relationship. I mean, maybe you're just not fundamentally happy in the relationship and you're looking for something to pick at as is, right? So if that's the case, then you're not going to do her any favors by being bitter and resentful and stuff like that. So let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. All right, folks, and our next letter is titled, I'm a 32-year-old male, a software engineer on an ankle monitor. She, a 26-year-old female, is a nurse. How to deal with explaining an ankle monitor thing. It just ruined a date. Hi, folks, I'm a software engineer, conventionally attractive, and recently had to deal with a situation. I attract a lot of attention naturally. I was just on a wonderful date with this perfect girl, exactly my type, but when it came time to go back to my place, she brought up the ankle device. This was my first time, so I didn't know how to explain it. I said that it's just a traffic thing. She replied that they don't put those on people for traffic-related things, to which I said they do, actually. Long story short, I agreed to a plea deal. And as a result, I'm on probation for a year, and that includes wearing a GPS ankle device. I have otherwise never been in trouble. I drive a nice car, and I look really well put together. I'm really saddened by this, since she is literally what I want in a partner. She said that she's not interested anymore, and I told her that I just feel sad about it and didn't go much further. How do I deal with this? I was wearing shorts, and in terms of what it was actually for, it's literally a misdemeanor, which can be expunged, aka literally deleted, after probation is completed. During our date, I didn't bring up the device. I think I should have. I feel really sad, and I gave her my Insta in case she changed her mind. But she unmatched me 40 minutes later after our date. What can I do about this in the future? Thank you. I'm otherwise kind, respectful, and have a successful career. All right, folks, what do you think about this? And there is a little bit more information. I'll let Amber fill it in.
Yeah, so he has the ankle monitor because he was stalking a woman. And I think the fact that he doesn't want to be open and honest about what he was doing, he has like the classic, oh, it was a misunderstanding type of explanation. But no, it was not a misunderstanding. They went to court. He had to take a plea deal. So I think he needs to just be open and honest with people that he stalked someone. He needs to, first of all, take accountability, recognize that he did stalk someone. He made someone feel deeply unsafe, regardless of what his intentions were. And he committed a crime. And he needs to be open and honest with future dates. And if they don't want to date him because they don't want to date someone who stalked someone else, that is a very understandable position.
So, I mean, I think that he handled this completely wrong. I mean, when she asked about it, he should have said, ankle monitor? What ankle monitor? This is just a bracelet I wear on my ankle. And then that would have taken care of the whole situation. Like, he would never have had to explain it. It's just jewelry. You don't have to worry about it. You know, who wears shorts with an ankle monitor to a date and doesn't at least think about what they're going to say when somebody inevitably brings it up? Did you think that was just going to go under the radar? What did you think was going to happen here?
Yeah, well, and if he was thinking the date was going to go to someone's bedroom anyway, he probably should have had an explanation.
Yeah.
Even without the shorts.
The fact of the matter is that I don't think she dropped you because of the ankle monitor. She dropped you because you lied about why you had the ankle monitor, and you basically told her that she's dumb. No, they give these things all the time to people with traffic infractions. What are you, dumb?
Well, the gaslighting is starting early.
Yeah. So, no, she didn't want to, she just isn't putting up with your nonsense because you lied to her. You could have given her the option, an opportunity to hear you out and explain your side of things, but you proved that you're not a trustworthy individual. So why should she give you any more of her time when you've shown that you're not trustworthy?
So before you date anyone, Opie, I think you really need to work on yourself. It seems like you're more focused on getting what you want, which is what led you to this ankle monitor in the first place.
Yeah.
You have to see the people you are dating as people with their own feelings and desires who can, walk away for any number of reasons. And there's not always a way to fix, quote unquote, fix it. Like, you can't just compel people to be with you, even if you feel like they're your perfect type.
Yeah.
So therapy, work on yourself. And once you feel like you can be honest with people and you are okay with letting them walk away, that's the time, maybe the time to start dipping your feet in the dating pool.
Yeah. Yeah. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. But folks, let's see what the Wheel of Judgment has to say. Wheel of Judgment, turn, turn, turn. Tell us the judgment that OP's earned. Just a little jerk.
I am deeply concerned. Wheel, no.
Maybe they just mean stature.
Let's hope that's what it means, because Wheel, you need to understand that what they did is not okay.
Plea deal. Everyone takes plea deals, the Wheel says.
Yeah, maybe the Wheel knows from experience.
All right, folks, it is tea time. Grab your beverages of choice. I've got some tea right here, and Amber, she has a joke.
What did the sea monsters say to their sluggish child?
Oh, they said, I see you being sluggish there. Why didn't you catch up? And then they smashed the tomato.
Let's get crackin'.
Ah, I like it.
And it's Folklore Day.
Ooh.
And also National Tooth Fairy Day.
Very nice. So, if you've lost all of your teeth, don't pull out new ones and put them under your pillow. The tooth fairy doesn't collect anything but baby teeth. I know this from personal experience. Don't ask me how. I don't. I have no personal experience. And I have Earl Grey. All right, folks, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for watching. Happy finally Friday, folks. I can't believe it's finally Friday. Amber, we need some kind of moral advice and or guidance, and please have it on relationship red flags.
Lying to someone about your ankle monitor and then trying to gaslight them is a pretty big relationship red flag.
Yeah. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you all tomorrow.
Bye.